Hello, I'm Anuradha. In this video, I'm going to give a brief description of how to play the game of hitting the ball at the board, which will involve the skills of projectile motion prediction. Projectile motion is an underlying principle for several sports, games, and real-life applications, which most of you might have seen, such as basketball, javelins, discus, and cannonball shooting, to name a few. The objective of this game is to hit a board placed at a random location on the ground, with the ball's initial position at a fixed height above the ground. You will win the game if you score minimum 3 points out of 5 chances, where you get 1 point per chance if you hit the board accurately, otherwise you lose. The code for this game has been developed using the guide environment in MATLAB for creating the game interface. All you have to do is take a correct aim at the board, enter the launch angle, and shoot the ball. The scores get updated on the user interface with each shot and gives you a win or lose result after 5 shots. The principle behind this operation of this game is the projectile motion of a ball given its initial parameters such as launch angle and launch velocity. The animation for this has been created by using simple laws of physics which will determine how each parameter affects the ball trajectory. The description of motion is made with the assumption that all forces other than gravity such as air resistance, friction are negligible. The vertical acceleration is given by -g, with the upward direction taken as positive y and the right direction being positive x. The kinematic equations are as follows. The equation of motion in the vertical direction, that is, the vertical component, is given by the kinematic equation y is equal to y0 plus vy0 t minus 0.5 gt squared. Here, y is the vertical displacement. Vy0 is the vertical component of the velocity, and g is the gravitational acceleration. The equation of motion in the horizontal direction is given by x is equal to x0 plus vx0 times t, where vx0 is the horizontal component of the velocity. x0 and y0 are the initial positions of the ball at launch. Resolving the vector along the horizontal and vertical direction gives vx0 is equal to v cos theta and vy0 is equal to v sin theta. Here theta is the launch angle taken with respect to the x direction. So that was a simple theory of ball projectile motion. Now let's get into the code to visualize the kinematics of this game. This is the gaming interface that takes in the player's input for shoot angle, a push button for placing the board, and a button to shoot the ball. Let us scroll down to see the code. The first button has the algorithm to create the rectangular board of fixed length and width at a random location generated by randperm function. In this, 2 random numbers between 1 to 3 and 1 to 100 are generated respectively, which are then transformed to calculate the position of the board to be placed for the shoot. The code for the GUI has been set up to include basic parameter checking for the user input as described here. Only angles between 0 to 90 degree are allowed, and any non-integer or values outside this range are reset. Next part of the code describes the part for the shoot button, where first the scoreboard parameters are set up. The next part describes the initial parameters such as g, initial velocity, launch angle, theta, ball height. Then these parameters are transformed from polar to 2-dimensional Cartesian coordinates. Based on this, the xy trajectory of the ball is generated between time t equal to 0 and maximum, which is obtained from the roots of the kinematic equation. Y is equal to y0 plus vy0 t minus 0.5 gt squared. points are generated within this time interval. The equation for the horizontal component of motion is x is equal to x naught plus vx naught times t. This part of the code simulates the trajectory at all points generated within this time interval as given above. And removes the trajectory after the ball reaches the ground. The next part of the code takes the final position of the ball and checks if the hit position is within the dimensions of the board to check if the ball has landed on the board or the floor. If the ball hits the board, the score gets added, or else the score would remain the same. Then the next part checks if the ball has hit the board at least 3 out of 5 times. It displays a win result for score greater than or equal to 3, or a lose result if the ball hasn't hit the board at least 3 times. This part of the code keeps track of the number of chances remaining after each shoot and clears the axis after each shoot. Then the reset all button here resets the parameters. These are the images of how the game interface and results will look like on running the code. This is how we can create a simple ball projectile game using MATLAB. Thank you for watching this video. Do like this video if you found it helpful. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share comments with some exciting topics on which you would like to see more videos in Fun with MATLAB series. Education is our future. MATLAB is our feature. Happy MATLABing!